We are awake. It is still dark outside and we're up so early because we don't want to get stuck in traffic. And we are going to verify that I don't have a Vasa Previa or a Placenta Previa anymore. So hopefully we get amazing news today. I made my coffee and then we were ready to head out the door. On the way to see our girl.
Oh yeah, can we do 3 maple donuts?
I am 33 weeks and 2 days pregnant today. At 31 weeks, we had a little scare. I did an ultrasound and I did it at a different facility that I've been going to. And they said that I could potentially have Vasa Previa and that I had a complete Placenta Previa. We knew about the Placenta Previa. I've known about that since I was like 16 weeks pregnant, but the Vasa Previa was something new. And so I had my OB actually verify with a second ultrasound, just like at my routine appointment. And she didn't see a Vasa Previa, but she was still seeing that the placenta was maybe 2 centimeters from the cervix. So we wanted to do a specialty ultrasound, a third ultrasound, and I went back to the place that I had been seen at previously, and they did a growth scan as well as an internal exam and turned the color on and did the whole 9 yards, and then like triple verified that I did not have placenta previa or a Vasa previa. When talking to the doctor, what we figured out is that my placenta has moved a lot. He was like, your placenta is miles away from your cervix now. It needs to be at least 2 centimeters away from the cervix for you to have a vaginal delivery so that baby can pass through with no bleeding or anything like that. And my placenta was 4.5 centimeters away from the cervix. So it's moved plenty far away and I should be able to have a vaginal delivery. No more placenta previa at all. It is completely resolved. There is also no Vasa Previa. He did not see a cord laying over the cervix. They turned on the color to see blood flow, and there was absolutely no unprotected vessels or any type of Vasa Previa whatsoever. This facility also has one of the best ultrasound machines that I've literally ever seen, and I work in the labor and delivery and OB world, and the equipment that we have is nowhere near as good as the equipment that they have at this facility. They definitely have like the Ferrari of ultrasound machines, and that's exactly the way they describe it too. With Vasa Previa, the cord generally comes out at the like bottom of the placenta, closer to the cervix. And on this ultrasound report, what they saw is that my umbilical cord connecting to the baby is coming from the middle of the placenta and it's higher up in the uterus. And so a lot of the time with Vasa Previa, it has a lot to do with the cord insertion, and my cord is completely normal and in the middle of the placenta, so that is definitely not a problem. Baby is doing really well. She's weighing 5 pounds, like that is so crazy to me that I'm carrying a 5-pound baby in my belly right now. She is completely normal in weight. She's weighing in at the 49th percentile right now, which is perfect, just like sitting right there in the middle. Her brain, her heart, her kidneys, her lungs, everything looks perfect and right on track. She was actually practicing her breathing during the ultrasound, which is really cool to see. It actually looked like she was breathing in utero, so you could see like her diaphragm expanding, and then like just like she was taking regular breaths. She's been having the hiccups a little bit more in utero, so I can feel like the little taps, and when I looked it up I realized, oh okay, that's hiccups. She's definitely having hiccups, so that's been happening like sometimes every other day, and the hiccups also prepare them for breathing is what I read, so that is very reassuring. They also saw a lot of hair on the ultrasound, and for them to see hair on the ultrasound means she must have a lot. I can't wait for her to come out and just put like a bow on her head and put her in her little onesie and with her hair. She's, oh my gosh, and just like seeing her get her hair washed at her first bath. Oh, it's going to be the cutest thing ever. There's a wise tale that says that if the baby has a lot of hair, then you'll have really bad heartburn. And I can tell you that that wise tale is true for me in this pregnancy. Even as we speak, like trying to do this voiceover, the heartburn just keeps coming up. And I'm like experiencing heartburn like so intensely, more than I ever have in my entire life. I know that everything just kind of like relaxes and opens up during pregnancy, and that's part of the reason why I'm feeling the heartburn. But man, oh, it is. My mouth will just start watering, and I just feel it coming all the way up my throat almost, and it's intense for sure. So I'm currently 33 weeks and 2 days, and that's when we did this ultrasound. And now that they found that there's no Vasa Previa, there's no Placenta Previa, I don't really have any pregnancy complications besides the Placenta Previa, which is now resolved. My blood pressure has been normal. I passed my GDM screening for diabetes, so I do not have gestational diabetes. And really now I'm considered low risk. And so because the pregnancy is completely normal, this is the last ultrasound. And that's such a weird feeling for me. Like I thought that they would at least do another one at like 36 weeks, but he said that yeah, they don't really need to see me again. They'll just double verify that baby's still head down when I go in for my delivery. But that was the last ultrasound. And we've been driving like an hour just to get to this ultrasound facility because they're so amazing. We absolutely love them. So it feels bittersweet to just be done with that whole process. And I am just so relieved that the Placenta Previa has cleared and that is behind me. And really now I just need to keep this baby in for at least 3 more weeks. At my facility, we deliver babies at 36 weeks or above. So sometimes moms go into labor starting at 36 weeks, and usually babies do really, really well at 36 weeks. Of course, 37 weeks is full term, and so you want to make it at least to 37 weeks, and I would like to make it to April if I can. But just like being a labor and delivery nurse and seeing how babies do, I feel like once I reach 36 weeks I'll feel so comfortable and I'll just be like happy for her to come whenever she wants to come. Generally, too, if you're like at least 36 weeks and like your water breaks and baby just starts coming, usually it's a really good delivery. Like baby's ready to come, you're going into labor naturally on your own. And so that's just like a few weeks away. If I'm 33 weeks this week, in 3 weeks, I'll be 36 weeks. People have been getting me so many little gifts here and there, little diapers or baby clothes and stuff like that. But we still haven't done like the big orders of like the crib and the car seat and things like that. And so I'm starting to feel like a lot of pressure. And I've been doing a ton of research on like which items that I want to buy right now, which items that I want to skip. And I don't want to like fill my house with so much stuff that I'm not going to use and just spend money on things that I don't need and that I'm not going to ultimately want. And so probably this week I'm going to do a big Target order of all of like the big items. I did my baby registry on Target as well as Amazon. With Target, when you get within 60 days of your due date, then you have like, it's like a 15% off or a 20% off or something like that, but you can only use it twice. And so not on 2 items, but on 2 orders. So I at least want to make sure that I put everything in that first order and do like a big order, and that way I can use the majority of that discount. Signs and symptoms right now, I'm still experiencing constipation pretty bad. I know that's like TMI, but there's been several days where I just don't even take my prenatal vitamins because I know, and the iron, because I know that's what's causing it. And even taking stool softeners every day and drinking like 64 ounces of water a day, like I'm still experiencing constipation. Everything just slows down so much in pregnancy and your organs are shifting, and yeah, it's been a struggle. My fatigue has also like amped up a lot. Like my energy does not stretch as far. I kind of feel like I'm in my first trimester again where I'm just tired. Like I feel heartburn and my ankles are starting to swell. My fingers are starting to swell a little bit. Today, for the first time, my ring would not go on my finger. And now my fingers are fine. Like the ring will slide on, but it's just like periods where if I stand too long, or if I'm too warm, then my fingers and my toes and my ankles are swelling up, especially my feet. Elevating my feet above my heart level definitely helps a lot. And so if I'm standing like for long periods of time, I definitely make sure to elevate my feet. But sometimes I just want to be out walking and doing things. And so my feet have been getting swollen for sure. Baby's moving a lot more too. Like I can literally see my belly shifting, like when she rolls from one side to the other. I can see it from the outside, and she moves a lot. Sometimes it's like very, very uncomfortable. Usually I'm okay if I don't have to pee at all, but if I have to pee like even a little bit, it'll be so uncomfortable where she's like, her head is like so far down there, and she'll just push right on my bladder or just be like kicking into my ribs. And usually it's okay, but sometimes it gets like really uncomfortable, and I'm like, oh, I have to shift positions and be like, girl, get out of my ribs or move off my bladder. My rocking chair that my family sent me, as well as my breast pump that I got through insurance, are still sitting in boxes in our guest bedroom. And so I need to go through and put all of that stuff together and figure out how it works, especially because I'm about to do a big Target order, and then we're going to end up having to put together everything and figure out everything when all that stuff comes. So definitely want to take it a little bit at a time and make sure to get it done. One thing that I started doing that I feel like is really, really helpful is I created folders with people's names who have sent me stuff, and then take pictures of those items and file them in the folders. And that way, once she's actually wearing those things and using those things, I can send them pictures of her wearing and using them, and just really thank them and remember what they sent me, because it can be overwhelming, the amount of things that people are giving you. And I just don't want to put that pressure on myself to forget what certain people gave me. And it's impossible to remember everything, especially some people have given me so many pieces of clothing and stuff. There would be no way for me to remember what everyone individually got me. I want to talk about weight gain and pregnancy too, because your doctor will recommend like a certain weight gain based on how much you weighed pre-pregnancy. But for like a normal weight, the general rule of thumb is that you gain 25 to 35 pounds. And I've been looking at the scale and cannot believe that I weigh 180 pounds right now. I have never seen those kind of numbers on the scale. And so to me, it was like a little bit shocking. And I was kind of feeling like, wow, I think I've gained way too much weight in pregnancy. And, you know, I've been kind of eating whatever I want, and I'm careful sometimes, but I still eat whatever I want, and didn't start exercising until just a few weeks ago. Then I took a break from exercising because they told me I might have a Vasa Previa, and that's like exposed blood vessels. And I'm like, I don't want to lift a bunch of weights and then burst a vessel or something. And so I just kind of took it easy, and I'm like, let me just wait until I figure out exactly what's going on before I'm like lifting weights. That's crazy. But in total, I've gained just a little bit over 30 pounds in pregnancy. And so that is like right on track and exactly where I'm supposed to be. And so if you're gaining weight in pregnancy, just know like 25 to 35 pounds, it's okay. Like you're going to gain it. The numbers are going to go up on the scale, and it's going to be okay. At birth, like the placenta, when it comes out, wait till you see it. Like ask to see your placenta. That thing is heavy. It is literally like an organ, a full organ that your body has created. And I don't know how much it weighs, but let me look it up real quick. It says the placenta weighs around like 2 pounds. The amniotic fluid that you're carrying weighs like 2 pounds. Your uterus, because it's so large, weighs about 2 pounds. And then even like the extra blood volume that you're carrying, because you carry a lot of extra blood volume in pregnancy to circulate to baby. That weighs about 4 pounds. It says that like all of the extra fluids in your body that you're drinking weighs about like 2 pounds. You have like naturally extra fat stores when you're pregnant. And so that says that it can weigh up to like 8 pounds. And then even like your breasts alone can weigh up to like 3 pounds more than normal. And so your weight is just going to be more in pregnancy. And that is completely okay. And you're growing a baby. Once baby comes out and you release all of that fluid and you go back to your normal weight and your hormones and all that kind of stuff, then that's when, you know, we'll focus on really getting off that weight and getting more toned and getting back to pre-pregnancy, like our pre-pregnancy self. We did so much this week, and I just compiled everything into one video and then did a voiceover to talk about the good news. If you're pregnant, I hope you're having a beautiful and healthy pregnancy, and we just have a few more weeks to go until she's here. I'll be 34 weeks in just a couple of days, and that means that I only have like 3 weeks until she is full term. I am I'm so happy and relieved that I'll be able to have a vaginal delivery. Just knowing the OB world, I was like, it's okay. You know, if I have to have a C-section, like I know that it is not the end of the world. It does not matter how you deliver your baby, whether it's vaginal, whether it's C-section. You are still a mother and grew this baby to term with your body. If you're curious about what the OR looks like, just to calm your nerves, they'll probably, if you have a scheduled C-section, they'll bring you back and you'll get your injection. It's kind of like an epidural. Then they'll lay you back and you'll be numb from the ribs down. And then once you're all ready to go, they'll bring in your partner and they'll be in there with you while the doctor makes the incision and while baby's born. And then as soon as baby's born, they'll do delayed cord clamping and then bring baby right over to you guys. That way you and dad can say hello to baby. And sometimes baby needs and a little extra help, so they'll bring him over to the warmer, but most of the time dad can hold baby or baby can be put on you, and then dad can just make sure that baby's safe and doesn't fall or anything like that while they're finishing up the C-section. I did my baby registries on both Target and Amazon, and I'm starting to feel pressure now. Like, I'm getting so close. I need to start ordering the big things like the crib and the car seat. With the Target registry, you can do 2 orders of 15% off. And so I'm trying to make sure that I combine everything into one order so that the second order I can get anything that I forgot and still get the 15% off. But with Amazon, there's no like order limit. It's just 15% off up to 60 days after you deliver and 60 days before your delivery date. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for subscribing and for watching my content and for supporting me. It just means so much to me, and I'm sending you all of the blessings and good vibes, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.